What's up, September?
How's it going?
Hello, hello. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. And just to introduce you to our audience, September, she's the current president and CEO of CEO Space International, right? It's like a must attend for entrepreneurs. It's a conference that helps strategically space five times a year to help people grow. As we've been talking about growth, we've been talking about how to channel that energy of growth. So welcome September, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You know, as we were talking about growth, September, what would you say from 2020 with all the different challenges that people have had, the world has had? What would you say is the opportunity for growth?
To become aware of yourself on a deeper, more meaningful level. Yes, it has pushed us all into a very uncomfortable place. But I think that as we begin to take a look at the new landscape that surrounds us, that where we go, there we are. And so who are we being in that experience? Who are we really being? And if we're not connected to who we really are, how do we know what we're capable of doing? How do we know what kind of impact that we can make if we're not connected to ourselves and know ourselves on a deeper level?
You know, as a ways to connect with yourself, because to be authentic with who you are and what you bring out into the world, just as you, right? And so that's such a powerful message that she's sharing with you. And I want to ask you, for those who are just having trouble, they hear it, they see it in the books, they know that that's what they need to do, but they're still just can't quite get there. What suggestion of hope do you have for them?
Well, I think for me, I can only give you my personal experience and how I discovered that to be true for myself, or what I found to help catapult me into the direction that I'm in. Like a lot of us, we've all had some trauma that's happened in our world over the last year. It's been a traumatic year for a lot of people. And a lot of us have lost somebody in our life. My husband had passed away 6 months ago. So 2020 was a rough year. And our business model had changed. So there's all this stuff going on in our world. There's loss and business and family and travel and bills and all this stuff that's going on. But at the center of all of that is who we are, where we stand. And if you're on that journey and you're like, I'm sick of looking at all this chaos, I'm tired of not getting to where I really want to be in life, I'm tired of just spinning on that same exact wheel, find something that resonates with you. I chose to begin to study the subconscious mind. That's what I chose, the path that I chose. And it's led me to some really amazing and interesting relationships for people to begin to open that up in my life. I've also have worked through some trauma healing, which has also helped me identify more of who I really am. I meditate every day. I've got my meditations are up to 2 hours a day. And that's very powerful in understanding who you really are, especially if you ask the question, who am I really? Show me who I really am. What is meant to emerge in my life? What is trying to show up in my life? And just begin asking the universe those questions. Guide me, show me what I'm capable of doing. What is meant to show up in my life? What's the impact that I'm meant to have in this life? Just start asking those questions of the universe and the answer will always show up.
I just got really present to how mindful your questions are. And that's just a beautiful message to share with our audience here. And I want to ask you, what would you say you were most excited about in 2021?
What I'm really excited about is stepping into what is meant to emerge in my life. And I'm beginning to feel those steps in front of me. I don't have the full picture. I don't think we're meant to have the full picture. We've got one stepping stone, and the next stepping stone shows up, and then the next stepping stone will show up. So from the steps that I can see, I absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt that I am stepping into what is meant for me. in this life. And I'm so excited to see what is in store for that.
I'm excited for you. That's
Yeah.
such a powerful, powerful way of putting that. And it's beautiful, you know, to to anticipate. Oh, there we go. It's beautiful to, you know, look forward, and I'm very much excited for you. And I want to also ask you, so for those who have, let's say those who have dealt with that loss, what message would you have for them?
Oh, this is a great question. I was just talking with some friends on this that is helping a couple of people in their life through grief, and they were asking me, like, you seem like you're in a really good place. Like, what are you doing? Um, well, my husband, uh, my husband and I always knew that one of us is going to go before the other, and we made a commitment that whoever crosses over first is going to always communicate with the one that's left here in this dimension. And so one of the things that Bernie had told me um, shortly after he had passed away was when I had to deal with all of his things, the things in his closet, his nightstand, his bathroom sink, like all of his personal space and what occupied his space. And I had to release all of that. It was very challenging to let go of those items because I wanted to hold on to anything that helped me feel connected to him, particularly his closet. You walk into his closet, his clothes are hanging there, they still smell like him. You just want to hold on to him for just a moment to try to get just a sense of him on some level. And I found that shortly after he had passed away, I had joined a couple of widow groups on Facebook. And at first, it was a little comforting to know that you're not alone and what you're feeling is really great. But then I started noticing that the conversation was stuck in the grief, stuck in, I miss them so much. I just want them back in the grief. And people are living their lives 9 and 10 years later with their spouse's things on the dresser just as they left them. And what I can tell you is that the more you move away from grief, the closer you can feel to them, the more connected you can be to them, the more present you can hear them. They're not in those things. They're not in the past. They're not in the closet hanging up. They're not in his dresser. That's not where he is. He is right here, right now. And so that's just another layer and another level of how important and powerful being present to the moment is. Is that it's powerful for you and where you are in your journey. But then when you want to connect with somebody that's crossed over, be present to them right here and let go of all of the things of the past. You want to connect to somebody that's crossed over, they're not in the past. They're not hanging up in your closet. They're right here, right now, in this moment with you, and to be present to that.
Thank you so much for sharing that. It's really beautiful and powerful. And, you know, like I honor you. I honor you. I see and I feel your energy and vibration and sharing. And, you know, as you speak about overcoming grief, you know, how many people needed to hear that message who are still stuck in the past,
Yeah.
right? And that's such a courageous thing that you just shared. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing that. And speaking of sharing, what I believe, let's see here, I believe you have something to share with our audience.
Yes, I do.
Oh, yes, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You have
So
a special reading that you wanted to share, right?
I do. Yes. One of the gifts that I bring to the world is a gift of clarity. I've been doing readings for 18, 20 years, I suppose. I don't do it professionally anymore. I do help my clients from time to time. I have some coaching clients that I work with, and I will often give them readings. So anybody that feels stuck, that's looking for clarity, you want to move forward in your life, I'm happy to give that service to you. It's a 1 hour, typically we have a 1 hour call, and you will walk away with some clarity.
Wow, clarity, so beautiful.
Yes.
Go ahead and put into the chat. Go ahead and put into the chat if you want more clarity. Go ahead and put into the chat on the YouTube chat if you want more clarity. Thank you so much again for sharing. And, you know, with make sure you follow September at September Dohrmann, right? Is that right? September
Dohrmann.
Dohrmann, yes, at the CEO of Space International. And she just offered a beautiful gift. Just get really present with, because when we study ourselves and we get mentoring, we get coaching, I know I wouldn't be where I am today I wouldn't be where I am today on a sort of a well-being, overall well-being, if I hadn't had amazing, heartful leaders like September, like different mentors who are sharing their wisdom and sharing their experience and past. So thank you so much. Clarity. All right, let me see right here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the drum roll. Do. Here we go. And we're gonna be giving away Kakate, you mentioned on the chat and you just won. Kakate, congratulations. Amazing. Thank you so much, September. Really appreciate you. And I want to just create a space, right? Anytime you want to, because I'm a big believer in flow and dancing and energy. So we've just been dancing all day, and it's just been incredible. So I want to just create a space. Anytime you want to, you can reach out, and we have this Flow Gifts Friday every Friday, so you can just come tune in and dance to shift energy, okay?
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Flow on, September. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much.